So in this episode, we are going to preview the 2038 season. And we are going to work our way through the build-up to that, because we do have some players who made it into Team of the Years, etc. around Europe. So we are going to show them in this episode, as well as obviously looking at the transfers leading into this 2038 season. If you are new and you've somehow stumbled across me on this episode, firstly, thank you for coming along. Secondly, make sure you do go down and subscribe so you do not miss any content going forward. Go back and check out from the start of the series if you can. If you don't want to, you can follow from here. It is quick and easy to catch up and find out what exactly is going on. So we're going to start by looking at our social feed, which I've kind of neglected in updates, and again, a main reason why we are doing 2 episodes a season now. So we are up to 500,000 followers on social media. We did jump 151k after our recent Champions League flurry, whatever we want to call it. Our core fans have dropped down though. Hardcore's still only at 7%. Family at 28%. Fair weather. So the core has dropped. They've now become fair weather fans. So Midskogen has made it into the Norwegian Players' Dream Team of the Year on the left wing. I mean, he's in there with Erling Haaland. Little Skara, who was with us, is now gone to Genoa. But there's some good players in here. And we have made it in with Midskogen, so fantastic for him. Little Skara technically made it in after being with us for most of the year. So really nice that our players have been recognised. So the stadium expansion has finally been accepted. So the board have announced to enlarge the stadium by 5,170 seats. Initial estimate indicates it's going to cost 6.25 million. It's going to take 12 months. So for the whole of next season, we are going to be playing at the Inni Ivika. So we are going to drop from a 10,000 capacity stadium to using one which is 880. So I'll tell you now, we better sell that out every single game. Now, when I go into the facility side of things, we're going to move back in. It's going to be a 15,511 capacity. So we had 5,000 seats before, so I assume it's now going to have 10,000 seats and then 5,000 standing. I've been asking them to expand it because I wanted a stadium which was all seated. But instead, they've just added 5,000 seats and now 5,000, whatever. We needed expanding so we could have more of a Champions League games. We now will be able to get 10,000 of Champions League games, but we're still not going to be able to sell it out because there's going to be 5,000 standing. You can't have standing fans in the Champions League. Well, I mean, it's an expansion. We'll take it. So looking through things here, in the FIFA Pro Under 18 Best 11, Divaldo Neves has made it into there. Now, this kid came in as maybe a potential rotation option. He's really cemented himself as one of our first choice players, playing in centre mid, and he's now made it into under the bench for the Best 11 at Under 18. So, really pleased for him there. In terms of the FIFA Pro Under 19 11, Meng has made it into the starting team. So really pleased that Michael Meng obviously joined us for 2.8 million. Just insane to think how well he has developed in the best Under 19s in the world now. And also Michael Meng made it into the Danish Team of the Year. Obviously, I kind of would say there, as soon as he made it into the best Under 19, it's fair that he has been recognised as one of the best in Denmark. In terms of Danish media Young Player of the Year and Danish Players Young Player of the Year, Mishan made it on both of them. So we are absolutely ripping things up in terms of some of our players. Delighted for him as well, 21 years old. And I am keeping an eye on these because they are ticking down. 155 more days, and Mishan technically could play for the Faroe Islands if he agrees to. And Michael Meng, I think, isn't too far away as well. 212 days till he could play for the Faroe Islands. So fingers crossed they don't get capped by Denmark. Fingers crossed that they just randomly decide they want to come and play for us. And yeah, the dream is alive. So now we are back and the season is about to start. If I go on to the schedule screen, you can see we finished pre-season and we finished our last 2 Champions League games. So we played Real Madrid and lost the game 6-0. We were down to 10 men for most of the second half. And then we played Dortmund at home and lost 4-0. It is really disappointing that, by the way, there wasn't a referee in the Real Madrid game. Fairly impressive. It was disappointing that we get to the Champions League and we're still just not good enough in terms of we are getting absolutely smashed in some games. We finished 32nd, which you can't see because I'm here, but you can see the Faroe Islands badge here. This lets you know where we were. Won 1, drew 1, lost 6. So we did finish with 4 points, which was ahead of Legia Warsaw, Ludogorets, Cluj and Fenerbahce. And we finished joint on points with the likes of Salzburg and Benfica. So we weren't dreadful, but at the same time, we're not close to getting into the knockouts. And is it upsetting? Yes. But at the same time, it's a long process. We are a club from the Faroe Islands. In terms of how other teams did in Europe then, let's just check out the league phase here. Did we get any teams in the Europa League phase? No, we didn't. Let's go to the Conference League. Did we get any team in the Conference League group phase? And the answer to that is no. I hadn't checked it. I think I was just hoping. I was hoping after they'd been, for example, KI had been in there recently. I thought they might have had a good push. So, all teams out of Europe, and we ended with 3.75 points. That's poor. So, next season we're going to have 24.25. Straight away, Israel overtaking us. We are going to overtake Poland. But that's it. So we are going to remain in 24th place, I think, unless there's any Polish teams left. But at the minute, we are going to overtake Poland, but Israel are going to overtake us, so we will stay in 24th. We need a good season. Now, you can see here we've got a 3.25 season that's going to disappear at the end of the year after. So we do need to make sure we have a couple of good seasons. I need the other teams to step up, and to be honest with you, we get more points when we're in the Europa League at the minute. So maybe I just can't bring myself to purposely go down into the Europa League, if you know what I mean, or into the Conference League. I want to get to the Champions League group phase year after year, but at the same time, we're so far off it at the minute. It is a tough call. Let's look at the transfers and see how we look, and then going into the season ahead. So we managed to bring in 3 people. I didn't have major concerns of our team. I did want to loan some people out, get them some first team football, and we've done that. So Rasmussen has gone out on loan, one of our backup players. Sikorsky has gone to KI on loan, a player who I do think could help them in Europe. One of the main reasons I've lent our rivals a good player. Simon Fall has left. He never performed for us. He's now been capped by Senegal, so he is a good player. But he's just never stepped up for us. He's gone to Lorient on loan. Terzi has gone to Degerfors in Sweden, so he's left us now. Also going to KI is Jonsson, one of our strikers. Obviously an absolute dominating force for our B team. We've ended up loaning him out now to KI. Again, I'm hoping he can maybe be the difference for them in Europe. John Anderson has gone to one of my local clubs, Brina, not far from where I live, actually where Haaland comes from as well. He's gone on loan there, so hopefully he can get first team football. Farid has gone on loan, again about getting first team football, 18 years old, Egyptian. Get him some first team football, hopefully comes back a better player. Johansson Nielsen, who we signed a few years ago, who never really stepped up. We've let him go on loan. And also Erdegaard has gone to Brann on loan. Again, hopefully can get some good football. Again, hopefully can develop. And again, I do hope he could turn into a good player for us. But when he's played, he's not impressed. 2 goals in 26. Not good enough, is it? Not good enough. You expect more. So signings coming in. This one was already pre-arranged about a year and a half ago. Hasn't developed how I hoped. I think we first saw him when he was 16 and we agreed to sign him, but we had to wait till he was 18, and he's not developed the best. Coming in a player I do actually like, and I did manage to convince him to come last year, we've just been waiting again for him to turn 18, is Juan Carlos Chavez. Very talented centre mid. I think he could be a very good rotation option this season for us. Only cost us 400k. If he does well for a year, he's a £3-4 million sale straight away. If not, sticks around in the first team, will develop into a good rotation. And coming in as our new left back, because obviously we sold Hansen last season, and we did have an issue with left back this year. Managed to bring in Carlson Tobias Svanes Musli. The last name Musli is a bit non-Norwegian. Svaner is. But he's cost us 2.3 million from Christian Sund up near Molde. And he's a decent left back. He's got some really strong mentals. He's going to work so hard for the team. Good work rate, good teamwork, good decisions, good bravery. Physicals are decent. Technicals are not the best, but he's only 18. And he's going to be our first choice. So hopefully he can develop there. And weirdly, he can also use his right foot. Normally fullbacks are useless on the other foot. But he does have the ability. So I think it's a good signing. So only 3 deals come in. A lot of players have gone out, but all on loan, apart from one, Terzi. So I'm fairly pleased with how we're looking. Now in terms of the squad, we have a decent squad size. Now one transfer 2.0 is Jerhus is leaving us. He still keeps rejecting to play for the national team. So at this point, I'm actually pissed off enough to sell him. So he's going for 1.5 million. We don't need him. So I've let him go. In terms of our squad, so Nan Talon is going to be our first choice keeper. Still really like him. He's still only 21. In terms of long term, we obviously have that academy player who came in last year. Might end up being our first choice keeper. But for now, this guy is our keeper. Linnerud is our first choice right back again going into this year. There were some clubs sniffing around him in December, but there's no wanted sign on him now. So I'm hoping we've escaped him complaining. Michael Meng, well, we've already looked at him, won some awards last year. There has been clubs sniffing around, but he has agreed that he will stay unless someone pays 8.25, and nobody's paying that. Patrick Morsek, now the older he gets, the more chance clubs are not going to come in for him. So I'm hoping now we might have managed to secure him for a few more years. He's been with us for 3 seasons now. He's just a very, very good central defender. His mentals and physicals make up for the 10 in tackling. 100%. At left back, obviously, we're going to have Svane Musli, who we've looked at, I do like. Defensive mid in this half-back role is going to be Washington. I just think he's really suited for this role. If I go to the half-back and select it, apart from bravery and aggression, he's got everything I want for that position. We do have some other youngsters who maybe through the season might step up and become really good half-backs, but for now it's him. Devaldo Neves, who obviously made it into one of the award teams as well in central mid. On the right wing, we're going to go with Engelin again. I do like him. I think he offers a lot with his very, very quick pace. In attacking midfield, we're going with Machan, who's obviously just won awards in Denmark. Again, a player who I really like. Again, needs securing. He has only got another year left on his contract. So I think that's going to cost me a lot of money. Midskogen, who's obviously again just won awards. Very nice that people are winning so many awards. And up top, Tove Bjornhag, who's just scored 19 in 10 last season. First choice striker this year. Really, really pleased. In terms of some players who are going to get a chance this year, Levang is going to get a chance. We signed him for 2.5 million last year from Tromsø. Played a few games for our B team. He is going to be in this first team this year as a halfback. Technically, mentally better than Washington, but he's not there in terms of being on my list of first team players yet. You've got to earn that position. Chavez going to be on the bench as well this season. Kilberg, 27 years old now. I just like him. He has agreed to drop to a squad player as well, which I do like even more. He was an important player. He's agreed to drop to a squad player with no complaints at all. He cost us £9,000 that many years ago. And he's hit double figures every season apart from last year, and that was due to the fact he's been pushed out a little bit onto the bench. We have Sean Mabunda, who's now been with us for 3 years. This is going to be his 3rd season, or 5, 6, 7. It's going to be his 4th season for us. Can play left back, can play right back, can play defensive mid, centre mid, can play on the wing. He's just a very solid rotation player in the squad. So really like him being on the bench. A player I've agreed to bring in, he's on a high wage, 9k a week, 24 years old though. Mentally and physically was the reason I brought him in. Technically not a world beater, but in terms of what he will do off the bench due to his mentals and physicals, I think it's a good signing coming in there. And the final one, after being on loan at EB last year and scoring 19 in 23, Daniel Holman at the age of 18 now, just turned 18. No, sorry, he's just about to turn 19 next month. I think he's a great backup striker and he offers something different because this guy is a pace, on the last man poacher style striker and our other guy's a target man. So I really like the fact we've got a different option there on the bench if we need to bring him on. Then in terms of players who don't even make it on our bench, you've got the likes of Forsland, who's a backup on both full-back positions. You've got Cookie, who is one of our wingers, been with us since 2033 now. And we are still waiting for paperwork in terms of him becoming a Faroe Islands international. I do think he might actually accept it. His attributes are dropping quite badly, but that happens. And then they go up and then they come down. So I'm not too worried about that. Gutterson is suspended. He will make it back onto our bench. 52 caps for Faroe Islands now, only 24 years old. I just like him. Also, another player who has agreed to drop from important player to squad player. So again, will be one of our backup central defenders and isn't going to cry and complain about it all the time. So I'm really pleased with that. You have this Lindskog, who is now 20 years old. He's been with us since 2036. He is listed for loan this year. He can play half-back, he can play central defence, he can play centre mid. He cost us $1 million. He's still only 20 and mentally is fantastic. So hopefully he sticks around. Sundstrom, who has also been with us now, this is his 4th season coming in with us. Can play on the wing, can play striker. He just offers a lot. 37 appearances in the league in his time with us, 10 goals. So he's been decent as well. Barnson, who we signed from Vikingur Goethe for $500,000. Massively overpaid 4 years ago for him when he was only 16. But I was trying to financially help the other team out within our league. Good, solid, second team stroke backup central defender. Then you have Jordi Ortiz, who played some time for our B team in 36 and 37. Also came up to play for us in 37. So going in 2038, he's going to probably drop back into the B team, I think. It's on his last year of his contract and he's not developed too much. So we're probably going to just let him go. And now our backup third choice left back is Simon Sjödarsen, who is a Faroe Islands left back. He's a decent left back. He's not bad. He is going to probably play mainly for our B team this year. But we're looking decent. So that's our team. Same tactic. I think we're looking decent. Our left back's only 2-star currently. He will improve the more he plays. I'm excited for the season ahead. I think we've got a good, solid team. In terms of the season preview, we are 4-9 on to win. KI are second favourites. Vikingur Goethe 13-1. Then you have EB at 16s. Now, someone asked about the facilities. So KI have good training facilities and average youth, good youth recruitment, adequate academy. Vikingur Goethe have adequate, and they play in a 2,000 capacity stadium, so they have improved. Vikingur Goethe is 2.5. EB have basic and basic. I mean, that should be improved. The fact they've not improved any of that blows my mind, to be honest with you. I'm just quickly checking financially. KI are in the red by 96k. Vikingur Goethe have $1 million in the bank. So Vesta have basic and basic. It looks like teams are not really improving the facilities, which blows my mind if you think about it. If you think about it, it blows my mind that they've not done it. So in terms of transfers then, let's have a look at the biggest transfers. So Svein Misli is the biggest, and then Chavez. 07 Vesta to B36 for 400k was Oscar Rivera, a Bolivian left winger. I'd have sold them a better left winger for less than that. Hjatti Gunnarsson has gone to 07 Vesta's second team, 20 years old right back. Actually came through our academy. Went to Vikingur Goethe, is now at Vester. KI to Salzburg, so leaving the league is the goalkeeper Peder Hol Lövik, 32 years old, so he has left the league. From Hacker to Vikingur Goethe for 120k is Johansson, who he's not a bad left back, to be fair, left winger, so that he's not bad. But I get concerned because I've offered players out to clubs in this league, and they still, quite a lot of the players I want to loan out, they just have no interest in having. And you're like, look, you can have this player for free. I'll pay his wages, everything. Just use him. And they go, nah, I don't really want him. So I hope for Football Manager 24, that is something which is improved, because we're not going to go with a custom database on FM24. It's going to be a league in Europe. I think it's going to be Norway for the Builder Nation, because I want to do it down with the third tier club, which is in the vanilla game, my local club, because I can also do some filming there. For some skits for the intros, etc. But I don't know. I would like to see the AI doing better, to be honest. I would like to see the AI doing better. But that's a preview for the season ahead. 2038 season. We need a better season performance-wise. We need a better season in Europe. I do hope we get Champions League again. I hope we can actually look good in it. But all in all, I just want to keep seeing progression. A lot of our players are 21, 22 now. It would be nice if we can hold on to them when they're 24, 25. Because at that point, I do think you'll see a big jump in our performance. Because there's a lot of the players now who, when clubs are coming in, they are not complaining when I reject offers. And that's a positive thought. The positive thought that these players will stick around. But I've been Paul, also known as the Northman. This has been the preview for the 2038 season, and I'll see you next time.